Neil knows the value of community. That's why you go to all these Bitcoin expos, because those are your people. And it looks like that's what you're doing. I mean, what a life, Neil. Welcome back. You just go from expo to expo wearing your shirts.
Yeah, so conference to conference. I was just in Nashville last month. It was the
Nice.
Bitcoin 2024 conference. Uh Already ready for the next conference they're throwing, which is in Las Vegas in May. I think it's going to be the biggest conference, Bitcoin conference ever. So if you're interested, Dale, definitely
Yeah.
maybe I could hook you up
Huh?
with some tickets.
All right. Hey, that's nice. What did you think when you uh, President Trump had to file his financials, and he owns 1 million in crypto?
Yeah, that is interesting to me. There's a bigger story going on in terms of like just politicians, warming up to Bitcoin. It tends to be more on the conservative side of the aisle, but we're seeing some Democrats here and there. But the Overton window has shifted, right? It's now acceptable to be pro Bitcoin. You're not just looked at like a
Yeah,
crazy Looney Tune like people have looked at me for years in the past. Now it's, oh, you don't know about Bitcoin? Like if you met
yeah.
someone on the street today and you said, "Oh, have you heard of Bitcoin?" You'd expect they'd probably know by now. Just I'd say maybe like, a handful of years ago, that wasn't the case.
Okay, so because of it being, at least the awareness being permeating now, um, what are the issues that you see? I know you're with Swan, and
I'm no longer with Swan.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was there a black swan?
There was a black swan at Swan. This is all public, but they had to
All right.
do like a layoff, and they laid off half the staff, almost half the
Wow.
staff. But I'm still confident in the people that work at Swan. They're really good people, and I think they'll turn it around. And yeah, so I'm still bullish
Is there,
on.
yeah, is there a lack of retail interest? Business is down while, I
No,
mean,
there was some other things going
oh,
on, and I don't want to really like
okay.
comment on it
Because,
because it literally just happened a month ago. But I'm confident in the people there that they'll be able to turn it around, and I'm still friendly with you know the people that are there. But I have a
all
lot of
right.
other things going on too as well. So
Okay, well, don't forget me. So anyway, I was wondering if it had anything to do with Bitcoin's actually been even though it's real reflexive, it's been in this channel forever, and Bitcoin likes headlines,
yeah, no,
and
that situation is completely separated from the price. That's like a
okay,
specific thing. So no, I wouldn't tie those two things together. But yeah, no, the Bitcoin price, it's been nice and choppy for the last
yeah,
few months. We've
yeah,
kind of seen in past, people refer to cycles in Bitcoin, kind of every 4 years, or more precisely, every 210,000 blocks, there's a Bitcoin halving. And usually after that time, it usually doesn't ramp up until like the end of the year, in like 6 months to 12 months afterwards, where you really see like a lot of bullish action. Now, I don't know if like the past will necessarily mean that will happen again, but this is not unusual to see with Bitcoin. And as soon as people kind of get bored with it, or
right,
dejected, or this asset can't do anything, we know what usually happens next. So, stay tuned, I would say.
yeah. I mean, really, it looks like consolidation after a
Yeah.
big move up. It's trying to digest this big move from
You would say that's healthy, right?
15K.
You would
Huh?
say it's healthy right now, what
Yeah,
we're
it's healthy to
saying.
consolidate. It doesn't mean that it's over the consolidation.
Yeah.
And, it could even correct further. I mean, 40K, would you try and find some extra cash to add? I know you do it mechanically, but if you saw that price level at 40K, what would you do?
There's no price level I'm not buying Bitcoin at, Dale. You know that because
Okay, all right.
it's going
I
up
know you're
further.
completely on, but wouldn't that be
Sorry, go
wouldn't
ahead.
that be nice though?
Yeah, hey, for people, it's nice for anyone who understands this asset, and can get in and buy cheaper Bitcoin.
We do have a different development since you and I last talked
Okay.
because in one way or another, I'm not saying the dollar is competition, but it's just something else that people could keep their money in, right? And now, after weeks and weeks and weeks of sideways action in the dollar is breaking down. So
Yeah.
we may be entering a big bear market in the dollar. Do you see that that should be a tailwind? If people start hearing about the dollars going down, they're not only going to think of gold this time, they're going to think crypto.
Yeah, and I don't say crypto, I say Bitcoin, but yeah, I
Okay,
think
I
people
know, right. That's true.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, as we know they're just going to print forever, right? It doesn't matter if Trump's in office, uh,
Yeah.
if Kamala wins, they have to keep printing. They have to service the debt. It's an out of control train, and that's not good news for the dollar. It is right. The dollar index is compared against all the other currencies, so
Yeah.
it's you're comparing paper against paper, really, with these kind of things, right? So
Right.
ultimately, Bitcoin uh, is the closest thing to perfect money we've ever seen. And I think as you have these sirens going off in the real world economy, more and more people are gonna realize Bitcoin's a solution for them.
Okay, anything on the adoption front that's new since you and I talked?
Um, I think it's been like 6 months since we talked because I missed our
I,
last
I
meeting.
but I was
Apologies.
hoping you wouldn't show up so I could get another t-shirt.
You can have another
I've
t-shirt
been
whenever you.
wearing it on the air a lot.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, I love the hope. Okay. So
No,
I get to,
Dale,
go ahead.
you seem like a very hopeful guy. You always have a very like
Oh,
positive outlook.
yeah,
I see like a lot of your tweets. And so in case people, if they're watching for this first time, I own a Bitcoin only merchant apparel shop, FOMO 21. And a few
so
months ago, I was supposed to come on Dale's show. I totally forgot. And we were talking and I said, pick out a shirt from my merch shop. I've wanted you to pick one out anyways for a long time, but he's like, no, Neil, you pick one out for me. And that's really difficult, to pick out. We have over 300 Bitcoin designs. So it's like, what fits Dale perfectly? And there's one, that says hope with a Bitcoin symbol and the O. And I'm like, this is perfect for Dale. So I'm happy
oh,
to.
and I fits in with my routine. That
Good.
hope is the oxygen in our life,
I
but
love that.
it's the carbon monoxide in our trading. Hope
I
is in
love
the
that.
plan. Hope is not a plan in the market. Say you could hope all you want, but we all need hope,
That's
especially
great.
after we do something hopeless,
No, you need
right?
to
So
tweet. You need to tweet that quote out. That's amazing. Is that an original Dale Pinker quote, or is that from someone else?
no, that's me.
No, you got it. You definitely. I wanna.
What did I say?
About oxygen. Hope is
Yeah, oh
oxygen
yeah,
with
I
car
have. I've
with
tweeted
car.
that out. I've
Yeah,
tweeted
no,
that out.
that's a great quote. I might
Okay.
paraphrase you.
Oh, you could
Use it.
no. Go ahead.
But I'm a
Uh,
no. Look, I'm wearing right now. This is a FOMO 21 shirt you got
yeah.
here because we're all in election season. I figured
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, let me ask you this. We're not supposed to get political or anything. Would you say that most of the people you're meeting at these expos, are they talking about um, November? And do
I
they
mean,
have a like a?
how could you not, right? I mean, it's wild. The world's kind of it's crazy. And Donald Trump back in I think it was May or June really came out forcefully for Bitcoin. He spoke at the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know long term what administration will necessarily be the best in the short or the long term for Bitcoin. What I do know, and as I said earlier, the debt is just going to keep expanding, 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 and there's always a reason to have Bitcoin. I'm happy that people like Trump are talking about Bitcoin. I wish Kamala Harris would come out and talk positively about Bitcoin. You know, for me, it doesn't matter. Like to me, the political system is broken beyond repair. So I don't really kind of like focus on it anymore from the day to day. But the more uh, people talking about politicians talking about Bitcoin, uh, the better it is for Bitcoin and for Bitcoiners. You know, there's a saying in the Bitcoin community like Bitcoin doesn't care, you know, Bitcoin doesn't need politicians, Bitcoin is anti-fragile, and that may be true. But Bitcoiners, people like me in the United States, you know, we are fragile humans, right? And I want policies that are favorable towards Bitcoiners. So whoever's going to go in and do that, that would be good, you know.
How come you haven't moved to El Salvador?
I'm not gonna leave the US. I love here. I grew up
Uh,
here.
Okay.
I still believe in a lot of the fundamental principles that, you know, America is supposed to be about. And even though, you know, things seem chaotic, there's still, you know, and hats off to El Salvador and all they've done, you know, when it comes to Bitcoin. And I
Are
wish
you
them.
curious to visit and see what's going on down there? Are a lot of people relocating, going there that are Bitcoiners?
There are definitely some relocating to El Salvador. I think it's like I said, it's great the initiative they've taken. A lot of Bitcoiners have just gone down there too out of curiosity. They want to like support um, a country who has been behind Bitcoin. So yeah, it's great. You know, I hope more and more countries do what El Salvador has done when it comes to Bitcoin and really embrace it.
Okay, interesting. All right. So, we're going to have these people that you meet at the conference. Uh, are they more pro-Trump because he attended a
Yeah,
conference like that?
yeah, they tend to lean that way. But there's plenty of you know, more liberal leaning people in the Bitcoin community. You know, there's books. There's a book called The Progressive Case for Bitcoin. And there's plenty of people leading uh, you know, organizations that are tend to be more liberal. You know, it's not surprising though, that conservatives generally have been more attracted to Bitcoin over its history. You know, Bitcoin separates money from state. And in theory, you know, conservatives want more limited government, right? And
Yeah.
separating things from the government. So separating it for money from government would seem to fall more in line with a lot of that ideology. So I'm not surprised. But Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin provides hope, as that, you know, like your shirt said, for a lot of
Yeah.
people. And there's a lot of reasons why, you know, everyone should be attracted to it, but especially, you know, more liberal minded people. So, you know, Bitcoin's for everyone. And I think eventually it's gonna be nonpartisan, completely nonpartisan in terms of, you know, US party politics. But for now, there's still, you know, some competing interests who don't want to see Bitcoin succeed. So,
Okay.
you know, there's
Let
going to
let me
be.
ask you, as a Bitcoiner, and you have been for a while, do you use it to buy things, Neil? Or you don't want to touch it and you have other revenue streams and you spend the dollars and try not to touch the Bitcoin, your Bitcoin holdings? Or is it part of how you conduct, your daily life and pay for things with Bitcoin?
So I'm going to be a little cheeky with my answer here, Dale.
All
And
right.
I just holding Bitcoin is using Bitcoin. I am, you know, preserving my wealth from currency debasement. Have I ever used it transactionally? I have.
That's what
But
I
you
meant.
know, there's something called I believe it's called Gresham's law, where you spend the bad money and you hold the good
Okay.
money. So
That's
you know,
okay.
I don't. We're so early in Bitcoin's, you know, adoption that it really doesn't make sense practically to spend your Bitcoin, especially with the laws in the US in terms of like capital gains treatment on your
Oh
Bitcoin.
yeah.
In terms of like the infrastructure, it's still being built out. There's a lot of advancement, but no, I don't spend my Bitcoin very infrequently. I have. I mean, I've bought an empanadas with Bitcoin before. So,
Okay.
like, I have used it, and you can use it. But for now, It just doesn't make practical sense for someone like me.
Got it. Neil, anything you want to leave where people could pick up your cool shirts,
Yeah, so
whether they're
FOMO21.
Bitcoiners or not?
Yeah,
You could
FOMO21,
go.
FOMO21.com. We have something for everybody in the Bitcoin world. We even have Bitcoin shirts that don't aren't obnoxious and say like Bitcoin all the way across. Some are just, more if you know type of things. And like I said, Las Vegas next May. If you want to go, Dale, hit me up. I'll try to hook you up with tickets. But for anyone else, if you want to go, buy your tickets now because they keep increasing and use promo code FOMO. FOMO, and you'll get a discount on your tickets.
All right. Nice offer, Neil. You're a great, like I say all the time, you're a great ambassador
I love that
for,
word.
huh?
I
You
love
don't,
that
you,
word. He's the Bitcoin
okay, you are
ambassador.
because that's what you do. You're a conduit between, something that you believe in. It's your philosophy. You're walking the talk, and you have a great demeanor for talking about Bitcoin, and you actually feel that you care about people, and that's why you're in it.
Yeah, look, we come to Bitcoin for the money, as they say, but we stay for the money, right? We stay for the monetary revolution. And don't get me wrong, Bitcoin, if it was going to zero, people wouldn't be here. So there is definitely an element of, self greed and selfishness here, but those incentives align to really help the world become a better place in this scenario where they don't in a system where currencies are constantly being debased.
And gives them an alternative during the transition to hedge their
Exactly.
monetary risk.
Exactly.
All right. So, Neil, great talking to you again, buddy.
It's always a pleasure, Dale. Let's put it on the calendar again, and I
All
won't
right.
forget.
We'll catch up in November, probably after the elections. We'll have some things
Yeah,
to
is
talk
that
about.
what is it? August, September, October. So it'll be right after the election. Oh my God, we'll
Yeah,
have so much to
yeah.
talk
All
about.
right, buddy.
The world will be a crazy place, I'm sure.
Okay, so also follow Neil on X.
Yes, Twitter, X at Neil Jacobs, NeilJacobs. Follow
Yeah.
Dale too. He's the man. Follow Dale. He has words of wisdom, and like I said, a very hopeful guy. And I mostly only follow like these diehard Bitcoin people, but when I see your stuff come across my feed, it helps me reflect. So I appreciate
Oh,
you, Dale.
great. Yeah, I do it selfishly, but love to share things with people that might encourage them. Yeah,
Absolutely.
in this world, there's a lot more criticism than encouragement. And if we could just flip that ratio around and encourage people, we'd be living in a different place. So
Wise
I
words. It's
great talk.
like Michael Saylor in the Bitcoin space. One of his recommendations, he's like, stay cheerful, stay positive. Um, he's one of the first people that really said Bitcoin is hope. That's one of his kind of lines. So yeah, just stay hopeful, stay
Yeah,
positive. The universe kind of has a way of working itself out.
lift people up and build them up.
That's right.
There's enough tear down out there. So,
Too much,
uh,
yeah.
everyone, that's going to be a wrap. Follow Neil. He's the best when it comes to Bitcoin. He would have a conversation with you like he is with me. That's his passion for, that he'd spend time with people. So follow him and talk to him. Thanks, Neil.
Thank you, Dale. Appreciate
It
it.
was a blast. All right. Everyone take it easy. You could join the team in about 20 minutes on the morning edge. Good hunting today. And, uh, you know, however they revise that number, there's like a big thing today, Neil, about them revising,
Uh,
jobs, that there might be a million less
yeah.
jobs
Human
than they thought.
intervention, something
Huh?
Bitcoin doesn't have.
Yeah. So you don't care about Paul. You don't care about, it's nice.
Yeah, I sleep like a baby. I don't have to
Yeah.
deal with this stuff. I know it does affect sometimes people's attitudes toward Bitcoin on a day-to-day basis, but I've always
Yeah.
told you I always have a long-term
Yeah.
view. So
You,
yeah,
if you don't, you will go crazy.
yeah.
I can attest to it.
It seems like every week there's a new CPI update, even though it's like once a month, right? But it feels like
Yeah.
every week at this point, and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. All right, partner. That's
All
a
right.
wrap. Everyone have a great day. See you guys tomorrow,
Bye.
and good hunting. Don't just count your pips or bitcoins, count your blessings. See you
So
guys tomorrow. Thanks, Neil.
thanks then.
See ya.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Forex Analytics. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.